Okay, here we got the Flux DMCC. Now this is Flux's sort of top end, like free ride, half pipe, aggressive all mountain charging binding. It's got a carbon chassis, which is really stiff and super responsive. So every sort of small movement that you make is going to be transferred through to your board really well. The same can be said for the high back, which again is really stiff. But it's got some nice EVA padding just on the inside as well. So even though it's stiff, it's not going to dig into your leg, and it's not going to hurt at all. You're not going to feel any pressure there or anything. Some really nice chunky ankle straps with a really nice ratchet system on them. They sound nice. They feel really nice. They've got this bit to keep it all sort of neat and tidy, so you don't get any of the straps like flapping around or anything like that. Same can be said for the toe cap. It's got a nice gap here at the front that's been taken out as well, just to try and save weight, and it kind of helps it to like come apart and hug around your boot as well at the front, so it doesn't slip off or anything like that. It's got a rounded base plate, which basically means that the board can flex more naturally, and there's no part of the binding that's gonna stop the board flexing, which is really good. You don't get that on a lot of bindings. And another really cool feature of this one is what's called a self-canting footbed. So basically the foam on the footbed will cant itself when you're putting pressure on your board. So it basically means that your legs don't have to do as much work, and it really helps to get your foot in the right place for the type of riding you're doing. You don't even have to think about it, like the binding will do all that for you. Now, obviously, this is a pretty top-end binding. When you spend this much on a binding, you want to get some good bolts with it, and Flux hook you up with a pair of not a pair, full set of titanium bad boys. So that's a pretty cool little extra feature. Like all Fluxes, it's insanely light. These are some of the lightest bindings on the market. They've sort of milled out every sort of section that they can to make it as light as possible, obviously without compromising on the strength or the integrity of the binding at all. So yeah, I mean, it's an intermediate to an advanced rider's binding. It's not a beginner binding. If you're looking for your first set, don't get this. It's too stiff and responsive. But if you're into hooning around the mountain, really charging hard, free riding, and you want a really responsive binding, definitely check out the Flux DMCC.